Yo, what's happening, people, and welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot
Yes.
takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way. And obviously, we're on an international break now, but one thing you don't want to do before an international break is watch your team lose, because that has to sit with you
Very
for
true.
2 weeks thinking about that result before you get to play again and you can put it right. And you especially don't want to see your team lose from 2-0 up on the prime time Sunday game.
Have everybody laughing at you.
Brighton versus Tottenham.
Is that where we're starting?
Have to. Absolute bottle job from Tottenham. 2-0 up at halftime, coasting.
Yeah, I think the worst thing about this result is how predictable it was. And like, you didn't even need to be a terribly smart football fan to know that Tottenham could very, very easily lose to Brighton after beating Man United 3-0. And we were saying how much, I was saying to you how much the Man United loss felt like a FA Cup final for Tottenham. Every Tottenham fan was out, chest out,
and masterclass.
All of that was going on. How good is Brendan Johnson? How good is Paul Rowe? You doggy Van de Ven? How good is Van de Ven? So I think that's the worst thing about this result for Tottenham in the international break, and as you say, lulling on this for like 2 weeks, is Tottenham fans could probably see this coming. Every other fan from every other club could see this coming.
They even said, if you go and lose to Brighton now, 1 step forward, 2 step backs. That's Tottenham Football Club.
It's even funnier because obviously we were saying last week how it was like a toss of the coin between who you was going to kill, Ange or Ten Hag, on who won that game. And it's like, even though Ange survived, he couldn't survive longer than a week from a killing.
And Ten Hag made Ange look like one of the best managers in the league.
Bossed Ten Hag off the pitch. But we were saying for a long time how we didn't believe this Kulu Bentancur. We saw it versus us. That was match week 4 or something. And we was like, really? That midfield?
Kulu, Bentancur, and Maddison should not play any Premier League away game. They should never play a Premier League away game. The fact that midfield went to Man United, went to Old Trafford and won 3-0 tells you more about Man United than it does about those 3 players in Tottenham.
Man.
And when they were 2-0 up in that first half, I was ready to kill Hurtsler. I was telling you, I saw you at half time.
Switched off?
Yeah. I'm ready to kill him because this midfield should not be doing this.
Yeah.
Right? And Hurtsler said in his post-match that what he said to his team at half time, he said it wasn't about tactics.
Yeah. Not tactical.
No, it's about wanting it, going for the second balls, winning your duels. And within 20 minutes, Brighton were 3-2 up.
I think it's funny because Ange, in his post-match, was saying, or in the second half, it also... Well, he didn't lean as far as Hurtsler to say it wasn't tactical, but he was saying, I think it was just a matter of effort and fight, and they wanted it more than us. And it's like 2 managers, Hurtsler after half-time is saying, yeah, they wanted it more than us. And Ange is saying after full-time, yeah, they wanted it more than us. And in Spurs' 45 minutes of wanting it more, they got 2 goals. In Brighton's 45 minutes of wanting it, they got 3 goals.
Yeah. And you see Ange's comments before the game.
Yeah, about
we're here to entertain.
Yeah,
we don't want control.
And this is, anyway, that speaks to a larger conversation about the little bro thing with Tottenham, and like, if a manager for what you would quote unquote say is a top 4 club, and Tottenham can be a top 4 club, don't get me wrong. It's just like if Emery or Pep come out and said, I guess Pep is different because it's mind games, but like, I'm here to entertain, and we would all say terrible mentality. You need to be here to get points. All this kind of stuff. But with Ange and with Tottenham, we'll just accept they play better football now, and they do this now. They do this that they didn't used to do.
Because we've said this before in the podcast, they're not seen as a big club. They're not held to the same standards as other big clubs.
That's my point.
Even Paul Scholes on one of those fan debate things was like, I think Ange could manage at a big club. And the Tottenham fan was like, he's at a big club, Paul. No, he's not. He's not, right? But that's like you say, it's a mentality issue, right? And I'm not even really putting... Ange should have made substitutions earlier, right? As soon as Brighton scored that first goal, after 3 minutes into the second half, Pape or Bissouma, bring one of them on.
Yeah.
Right? You don't even need to go and score another goal at the moment.
Yeah.
You're still in the lead. Go and bring some more control. I didn't make any subs until they were 3-2 down.
Yeah.
Right? But that Tottenham performance we've seen under Conte, right? When Conte gave his interview after Southampton.
The players?
Where are the players? Right? Jose, we've seen it under Jose, Zagreb, Europa League.
Yeah.
Extra time, 3-0, Orsic hack trick and whatever. That is not so. I'm not going to kill Ange specifically for them bottling it. That's just a Tottenham Hotspur Football Club mentality.
I do agree with that, but where I won't give Ange any like free pass is because he did mention in his post match, he was like, "Oh, maybe we got carried away a little bit of just how we were going." Like 2 goals away from home, 2 goals away at Brighton should see bare minimum a point, let alone 3 points. Yeah,
but to have played as well as they did in that first half for 45 minutes and then have a second 45 minutes that's just a stark contrast. Of course, there's blame on Ange, right? But the players need to start taking some responsibility.
Yes, they do. The players definitely need to take some responsibility. But I like, we were at the PSG game when Arsenal played PSG. Our first half was completely different to our second half. But we give the players the responsibility of managing the game. We're 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Tottenham are 2-0 up.
Yeah.
We give the players the responsibility of managing the game out. I don't think we were like brilliant in that second half, but we didn't need to be. The game was won.
Yeah.
It's just about doing what you need to do.
Agreed. Yeah.
You know, like crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and just making sure that you come out with a win.
And Arteta's probably made like a tactical change.
Arteta's agreed, but then also on the players themselves, and maybe this is to your point, like as a Van der Ven or who like Bentancur or whatever, you start to say, especially when they get that first one, all right, boys, 10 minutes, they're gonna put it on us. Let's be rigid here. Let me be close to you guys. Let's communicate. Let's make sure that we don't give them like the quick succession of goals is on the players. Agreed, 100%. But there is a little bit of Ange because he must know his team.
That's on Ange for sure. Because Arteta's probably telling them at halftime in that PSG game,
don't
look, if they start dominating the ball and they start like stringing some passes together, sit in our shape and whatnot. Ange is not telling his Tottenham
sit
team,
in the shape,
right? Or, if they scored and we do this and whatever, it's just the same football constantly.
Even after the first goal goes in, it should be immediate. Keep your head.
Yeah. Substitution. That should be the sign for the substitution. Pape, Bissouma, change that midfield now.
And you tell the sub, go on there, communicate with Van der Ven and Bentancur, be next to Bentancur, to be rigid. Don't let them go through.
Now get that in. Move Bissouma in there with Bentancur, slow it down, kill the game. And that's Ange's game management. But like you say, there's also problems with the players' mentality.
I do agree.
And shout out Danny Welbeck.
Yeah. First and foremost, shout out Danny Welbeck, because this isn't even his like third revival of his career. This can be like his, his fourth or fifth like time when you've like at the beginning of last season, Danny Welbeck could maybe have done a season, 2 seasons at Brighton already.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, this might be his last season at Brighton. We could move on to any like Danny Welbeck time and time again has either come back from injury or come back from team being relegated or whatever it is to continue to be a Barclays Premier League player. Continue to score goals at clubs that define games. And got a lot of love for Danny. And I think every club that's had Danny Welbeck must really appreciate him because he works hard.
Of course.
He works hard. He's a lovable character. He's like, and we love that foul at the end.
Yeah.
Remember when Tottenham
all game we were screaming fouling when Tottenham were breaking, and the Brighton players weren't doing it. And a ex-Brighton player who was at the game was Pascal Gross. They brought him out on the
club
pitch.
Legend.
They brought him out on the pitch for a proper goodbye because Pascal never got to say goodbye properly. So Brighton,
good win.
Shout out to Brighton for doing that. They brought Pascal, and Danny Welbeck embraced the Pascal of I need to see my rivals fall at your hands.
At my hands.
And Danny Welbeck embraced that.
Also, shout out to Herzler for persisting with Danny. Like, Danny's had a good start to the season.
Yeah.
He's really
kept him in there. Evan Ferguson's on the bench.
Exactly.
But some of these Tottenham defenders,
bro,
the whole back four have been put in conversations they should never have been put in.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
In particular, Pedro Porro. Because guys are talking about Pedro Porro like he's better than Ben White. Like he's this, like he's that. Mitoma cooked him.
Yeah, all
cooked
game.
Him. That was the Mitoma shot. I think all 3 goals almost come from Mitoma.
after Tottenham's first goal,
Yeah.
Matoma gives a chance to Danny Welbeck that he should
he should
equalise.
score. He should score.
It's immediately after the first goal.
Yeah. So Pedro Porro, but I know I've said this how many times. He's a winger.
Yeah,
right?
he is.
So cool. Destiny Udogie. Tottenham fans are saying he's had Bozoji. He's been having Bozoji, which I can see. He made some mistakes last year, but that one, that's just lack of concentration. Just you haven't watched the ball go onto your foot. You haven't cleared it away. And it's just like you've given it to Minte to just
have a chance. It's a good finish though.
Easily. It was a good finish. But come on, man.
Yeah.
If he doesn't score from there, it's question.
I think this Udogie one is obviously a very bad mistake, but I think the Udogie one for Welbeck's goal, in my mind, it's not more damning because this one is
that's Udogie's mistake. Oh, because the throw in.
Yeah.
He should just
is
clear
it Ruta?
Yeah, Ruta. Yeah. That's Van der Ven as well.
Hustle, like.
And Bentancur doesn't do enough to come. Bentancur thinks he's just gonna shuffle it out of play. He thinks this is Serie A.
Yo, Ruta does like a literally 3-point turn of just like hustle. I want this more than you. I want this more than you. I want this more than you. The ball's almost gonna go, as you say. Bentancur's coming across. This ball's not dead to Ruta.
Sliding cross.
Yeah, Romero's like ball watching. Like
Romero.
Yo.
Romero stinker.
I don't know what to say about Romero because I don't know how he always creeps his way.
How many goals Tottenham have conceded this year has Romero been at fault for?
Do you know what? Do you know that tweet that was like Upamecano only plays like this when Premier League fans are watching? That's how I feel about Romero. In the 3:00 kickoffs, where Tottenham might do well, win 1 or 2, this like unbeaten game streak that they've gone in. I'm sure Romero's probably done well for them.
Against Everton.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But every time I'm looking at Romero at 5:30 kickoff, at 12:30 kickoff, it's a yellow card, it's a red card, it's a clown show. From Romero. It's an own goal from Romero. It's a deflected shot from Romero.
He's falling asleep.
Yeah.
And the amount of times
all this kind of stuff.
The amount of times that second half, Romero's on the front foot trying to get to Danny Welbeck, and Danny Welbeck spun him and gone. And now Brighton has to preview 2 on the counter.
I don't know what it is, but like he keeps on creeping into these conversations where he's better than this person, or he's on par with that person, and then every time I watch Romero, it's a clown show. Yeah. So I've never understood the Romero hype. And I honestly think that Tottenham, and this might sound a bit harsh, maybe reactionary, but I think Tottenham just cash in. I think Romero will go for good money. I think market value wise, he could get good money. But I think if you put Van der Ven next to an actual serious guy, you would have a better defensive structure or whatever.
They're not going to do that. But because you're saying that as if Tottenham are a big club and they have the capability to go and buy a serious centre back partner. Can Tottenham really get better than Romero?
Do you know what?
Unless they find the diamond in the rough,
gonna say
like the kind of Van der Ven, because I think Van der Ven's a good centre back.
He is a good centre back.
He had a bad game.
He did,
but they'd have to go and find another one and beat out Man United, Man City, Chelsea, or Arsenal. All these guys that might want that guy.
Yeah, I think obviously the issue with that is you're right. Tottenham are not a big club, and they need a real good director of football and all this kind of stuff to find who that diamond is. Because I agree that like we, obviously not to always bring things back to Saliba, but. You could find, and we beat our clubs to get Saliba. We did.
Yeah,
we did.
I don't know if the Saliba thing is out there.
No. It doesn't. He doesn't need to be Saliba.
Yeah,
but it just needs to be a guy that complements
Van der Ven,
your current CB, the way Saliba complements Gabriel right now. Yeah, Romero is like I think he's a bit of a clown, but he is a worthwhile centre back to have. Like I'm sure in Villarreal or Valencia, he would tear it up. I'm sure in.
But then that's the gamble that. Tottenham hierarchy, do we sell Romero and gamble on this
new guy
diamond, or do we just keep Romero, who we know what he'll give us?
Yeah, it's definitely a risk, but this is the ruthlessness now that a manager needs.
Does Tottenham Hotspur Football Club
operate on that level?
They're known for not having that ruthlessness.
I think like Tottenham fans might go to me, how reactionary is that to sell Romero? He's our best centre back. He's one of the top 5 centre backs in the league. But I just think that you could find a better partner for Van der Ven than Romero, and a lot of Van der Ven's great work is covering up Romero's mistake. He's got to track back because Romero's not really read where the ball's coming in from and all this kind of stuff, and that you could have a better defensive structure if you found a better partner. I don't know what that partner looks like. I don't know if you're right they're gonna have to beat out a lot of top clubs to get that
I
guy.
think even
or if there's a guy in the ranks or whatever it is.
even if you replace Porro with a Ben White type, then you up Romero's game as well, because now he's next to someone who's solid defensively. He can cover you. Saliba came in with Ben White next to him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, maybe you're right. Maybe like an extra solid defensive. But I think, to be fair, the Porro is a winger. But I think Porro is gonna be more useful to Tottenham because he actually does have good deliveries, and they've just got Solanke and they've all this kind of stuff.
But then the Ben White piece could play both positions.
Yeah, but I think Ben White is also an equally hard to find piece.
Yeah,
it's an equally hard to find piece.
Well,
So
I don't know, equally hard.
Okay, not
but up there.
Up there. But anyway, Tottenham fans, if you're watching this, Michael Bat especially, you'll let me know. I know he's going to be like, oh, Romero needs to stay.
But he's going to say Romero's better than Saliba, Porro's better than.
I truly think you could potentially find a better partner for Van der Ven. It might not even necessarily be a guy as talented as Romero, as if you guys think he's mad talented, but he could be a better partner for Van der Ven than Romero currently is, and you could concede less goals and still do your attractive football, but maybe actually win games because your defender isn't ball watching.
Switched on
90%.
I agree,
time.
but I also think as much as it could be Porro as well, get a proper DM in front of him. That probably ups Romero's game as well. Don't play Bentancur, Kulu, and Madders.
That's true. I think we also need to speak about Madders a bit.
Yeah,
like the champagne football that Tottenham can play, he can be a huge part of that. 100%. He can be very silky in the ball, create, score, all this kind of stuff. But
when the chips are down,
man, when Tottenham need a goal or need to change the momentum of a game, I just feel, and maybe this is the same conversation that we're just having with Romero. Maybe Madders needs a better partner in midfield and more guys to find him in the right spaces and all this kind of stuff. But currently, how things are working, I just kind of get this vibe that Madders probably is not going to change this result, or he's not going to turn it around if Tottenham go down. If Tottenham are firing and they're doing the right things and like everybody's playing well, I think Madders will be involved and he'll get his goal, he'll get his assist. But once it went 3-2 down, and I was looking at the Tottenham squad of like who's going to change this game for them, I knew they would have half chances. I knew they would have all of this kind of stuff, but I think, man,
and that is Maddison's role. Is to be that guy.
Yeah. And I think for all the I'm going to celebrate when we score dartboard type stuff, be the guy when the chips are down. We're going to speak about another guy. We're going to speak about another guy who performs when the chips are down later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But be the guy for your club, be the guy for your team when the chips are down.
But maybe he is just not that guy.
Maybe, and I actually believe he isn't, but I believe he has the ability to be. Like, I believe he has... For Tottenham, I think Tottenham is his level. I was saying this, but I still think for Tottenham, he has the ability to change games for them, like change games for turn draws.
But he's never
wins.
Really, like when I say when the chips are down, he was never really that guy for Leicester.
Yeah. There's a mentality thing.
Like he would change games for Leicester for sure, but when the chips are down and we need you to rise,
I think. But I agree. But
Maddison has never really been.
I think it's a mentality thing for Maddison rather than an actual ability thing. I think he has the ability to find that pass, to curl one into the top corner, to break open a game. But I just think after watching him for so many games, as you say, for Leicester and for Tottenham, it's more a mentality of like, maybe I'm not the guy, or maybe there's a little bit less confidence when the team are doing well, or maybe there's a little bit less like just hunger to get on the ball and change it. Remember, you sent me the thing about Hazard, obviously levels, ability-wise, but you were sending me the thing today about what Hazard was talking about, that game at the Bridge versus Tottenham, ironically, where Hazard was like, I've got 45 minutes, it's going to be me.
Yeah.
I looked at
we
it.
don't lose to Tottenham.
Yeah, I looked at it. I had my first touch of the game and I thought, yeah. I like, does Maddison...
I forget about Hazard, Odegaard.
But
Odegaard, when we need something to happen, you can. It might not work all the time, but you can never fault Odegaard for a lack
wanting
of trying.
The ball, wanting to get on it, wanting to change it.
Like Odegaard will drop deep, give me the ball, I'll progress the ball.
Do you know
in the last phase? Odegaard will come. He won't hide. He will never hide.
I agree with that point because there is at least 2 Odegaard goals when we have been losing games in like the 90-something minute where he just cleared it from 30 yards.
Yeah.
And it's gone in. And it's taken a deflection.
Yeah.
I think there was one versus maybe Southampton. Did he score in that 3-3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he scored the second goal.
Yeah, to make it 3-2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was another one. It might have even been the season before. There was one at West Ham, I remember, when we were down.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But it might have been the season before, whenever it was.
Man
but
United, 1-0
yeah,
down last season.
but it's
straight
like,
away.
yeah, we're down. We're down.
Newcastle 0-0.
I always want the ball. I
St.
always want the
James's
ball.
Park.
I'm just gonna try shooting now from 30 yards.
Yeah.
It's not even my thing like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna try get the shot from
Yeah.
take a deflection, go in. Doesn't matter. We're back on it.
But it doesn't even have to be a goal. It could just be Odegaard picking the ball up. Right, the team's press is set. They're onto us, and Odegaard's come and picked it up off Saliba and moved it through the lines. And like you just don't see that from Maddison. When you see that from Maddison, when everything's nice,
Yeah.
it's sunny, and he's enjoying it at home. Fans are singing his name. But when the chips are down and you really need someone to come and do that, you can't fault Odegaard for at least. And that's all you ask for from Maddison. It might not work, but come and don't hide. You're meant to be that guy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think on the opposite end, though, to give some credit to Tottenham and Tottenham's players, Brennan Johnson 6-6.
Yeah. Shout out Brennan Johnson.
I was literally saying on the Friday night, no way Brennan Johnson goes 6-6.
Last person to do that, Harry Kane.
Yeah, he's turning around for them. Well, not around for them. He's turning around from himself, and he's like, we'll see how long this lasts. But I think it's always good when fans are giving player a little bit of stick and the player does
comes back
turn it around. And then the last thing I'll say on the pod is about this game, is the Werner thing and how I understand why Tottenham fans are so frustrated with Werner. It's evident to see for any fan. He should have assist first 30 seconds into this match. It should have been 1-0 Tottenham, Werner assist, Brennan Johnson goal, whoever it was in the centre. But as much as I said they should potentially cash in on Romero, maybe cashing in Romero to get yourself that left winger. And I know you're going to tell me Son is out. Son shouldn't play left wing, even if he's fully fit. Yeah?
Odebert.
Oh.
That's 30 million they spent on it.
Oh, they should not have. And Odebert's all right. Odebert is not bad. He's not coming and put poor performances. But I'm going to give Ange some credit. Ange's system is well designed for very quick wingers. He will put very quick wingers in positions to always go 1v1 versus defenders and put dangerous balls into the box or get shots off on target. I've seen all season now. Last season we saw it. This season as well. Yeah. Their wins, their losses.
Look
their
at Brennan
draws.
Johnson.
Yeah. Their wins, their losses, their draws. Werner, as diabolical as a player that Werner is constantly put in positions to get G's in it. Constantly. Yeah. Beat this guy, put that ball in, it should be a goal type of thing. And like he had 2 1v1s versus United, just you and the keeper, no one else there. The patterns in midfield have worked, the ball over the top has worked, you're right there. If Ange could get...
But then Ange sanctions the Werner signing.
Yeah, I know, and that's on Ange. This is now Ange's poor. This is poor from a 2-year loan. I don't know what's going on there, but I do admit that if they get a decent left winger, and Son should be playing down the middle with Solanke just behind Solanke, however it's going to work.
Yeah, they'll be more potent for sure.
The Ange system, it might not be enough. You still need to be defensively better. But
I don't think it will be enough.
You might score 4. You might end up, But
there will be games where you inevitably don't, even with a guy.
Every guy can get
chances and whatever.
Ben White's on that side. Timber's on that side.
But look, that's enough on Tottenham and their bottle job before the international break. But we'll move it on. Arsenal versus Southampton.
Yeah.
And Arsenal getting 1-0 down this week. They weren't actually losing at any point last week against Leicester, but they decided that they wanted to go 1-0 down game against Southampton. Before Havertz, 3 minutes later, slaps it in to match RVP's record of scoring in 7 consecutive home games.
Which is kind of nuts.
And they compared Havertz to RVP when he came. They whispered it quietly.
It was very quiet.
And that goal...
No, the goal was very... And
noticing.
I was saying this, how gassed I was for the goal. Because it should be on record, the rarefied air that we hold RVP in.
Fuck RVP.
Well, but there is the fuck RVP thing, obviously.
Always.
But in terms of
as a football player,
ability,
we have to respect it.
9-10. I don't think I've seen a better 9-10 combo
No,
than RVP. In terms of like, in terms of what he has in Suarez is up there with him,
and that's like
that's actually those are the top two.
Yeah,
those are the top two. And Suarez, even though Suarez is a
and
9-10,
he might not be RVP.
It's yeah.
He might be a better, but that 9-10 thing specifically,
I think he might be a better 9.
Yeah,
but he might not be a better 9-10
yeah,
than RVP.
Yeah,
I agree with that. But look, Suarez, come on. Look at the conversations we're holding.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're just saying that to say on record, yes, when guys are going to be rolling their eyes when you see us compare Havertz to RVP after just scoring a couple of goals in a couple of games type of thing. It's not that. It's
Havertz hasn't scored this goal.
It's exactly. This is the mid-range. I told you. This is like finding out your NBA star for your franchise, your big man, who normally just gets buckets at the rim, has a mid-range. He's got guys on skates. He's put the ball between his legs. He's hit a 15-foot jumper.
Wrapped it off the post.
yeah. It's not, as I said, I think the best thing, I mean, there's a lot of good things about the goal, but for me, it's the timing of it. That's the number one best thing about the goal, but it's the like, I'm not going to take a first touch. This is coming across my body so I can shoot this.
Yep.
I think that's what I love. And that's the RVP of it. Yeah, that's
Jesus
the RVP
is there, but he takes that touch
yeah,
out
yeah.
and just thinks. And 3 minutes after going 1-0 down, it's a massive goal. It's a vital goal.
A year ago passes that off.
100%.
He tries to protect.
Doesn't really think about.
He waits for Saka to get in a better position to score. He thinks maybe I can get my head on a cross.
Yeah,
but that, like as you say, we're down a goal. It's me to change the game. That's also the RVP mentality. It's me to change this game. It's not going to be anybody else.
Yeah.
I'm going to change this game. That goal will stay with me.
And those are the goals that I've been saying since we started podding. I need to see Arsenal score more of those goals. Because that to me is very much goal out of nothing.
Yeah,
like that's a half.
Saka's just won it.
It's a half chance.
Yeah,
like I know he's in the box. I know he's 1v1, but
it's barely.
That's the kind of goal that we would have wanted. If we'd gone and signed a Gyökeres or a Sesko, or that gunman number 9, that's the kind of goal we want them to score. And Havertz has just wrapped that in.
To make it 7, as you say, 7 goals in 7 games at the Emirates. So it's not even like it's a one-off. He's just slapped that in, and that's the first. That's just him opening up his account this season, type of thing. I agree with you, man. That goal is massive, and you said it wasn't like the Leicester game last week, man. Well, in the sense that we went a goal down.
Yeah.
At that point, it was. At that point, it was like 65 minutes.
Yeah. Earlier, I think it was like 60.
Yeah, 60 minutes. We've got half an hour left on the clock to go and get another goal. Southampton really shouldn't score another goal. Leicester shouldn't have scored another goal when we was 2-2. And I was just like, I was praying. I was a bit upset because I was like, man, 2 weeks in a row. Do we really have to dig a performance out the bag again? Is it going to stretch on to the 80-something minute? And I'm like, going to be
stressing.
Yeah, edge of my seat type stuff. So,
but Martinelli.
Saka.
Yeah, of course. But let's do Martinelli first.
Okay.
Because it's his goal. Obviously a ridiculous pass from Saka. And Saka did run the show. But Gabriel Martinelli is an important goal.
It's a very important goal.
And they're saying the left-hand side.
Yeah,
maybe those couple of tweaks. Maybe Mikel knew.
Comes on with Marino.
Keeps Calafiori there.
Potentially, obviously without Marino, maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a year ago, it's just the double change. It's just Martinelli, Trossard. But now we have the 10x. We've got Marino in there. We're gonna get an extra more out of Martinelli. Because we've got this guy in there.
And Martinelli he needs to score goals. If Arsenal are going to win the league, Martinelli needs to score goals.
100%.
So it's good to see him doing that. But
I think the Man City is worth talking about, to be fair.
Yeah,
because I think for as good as Man City have been, there are signs of vulnerability here. 2 goals, goals being scored at Man City. Obviously, they lost or they drew last week to Newcastle, and it's not even the Man City are frail and we can get at them, and this is just like, all right, we're seeing things.
They were open on the transitions.
Marcus Silva has come with the game plan. He didn't win, didn't succeed.
Yeah, watch with Arteta blueprint.
Yeah,
5-4.
Didn't win, didn't succeed, but
Should have.
If you're whoever club thinking I have a better winger than Traore, I can get into those positions. And Man City will still be the favourites to win the league. They'll still be in and around it at the end, and they'll win a lot of games, of course. But I think what is going to be the most interesting thing about City this season is to potentially look at their goal record. And they'll probably still, in terms of like goals conceded, they'll probably still be top 3 least teams to concede goals. But when the margins are 2 points, if Man City concede 4 more goals.
Yeah, that could be it. Even 2 more goals.
5 more goals.
Yeah.
Than they did. Because Traore, that one where he blitzes Walker, bro, if you take one more touch, goes round the keeper, puts that in the back of the net, and it's at that point it would have been what? 3. It would have been 2-2 at that point.
2-2, I think.
And change the complexity. Marcus Silva can make another change, and he can get change the complexity of the game again. Anyway, we just need to see teams get themselves into those kind of situations more.
Yeah, and I think it was a good overall performance from Fulham and Marco Silva. And second game without Rodri looked a bit suspect. But Chelsea versus Forest.
Yeah, I think
classic Nuno setup.
Yeah, it was. I was going to say a good win for Forest.
The place out.
It was a good result for Forest. Obviously, going down to 10 men. The James Ward-Prowse thing is hilarious. But I'm super surprised because I think I don't think people expected Forest to go down, but I think people expected Forest to flirt with going down, and they still Forest could have a 10-less win streak.
Yeah.
Like 2 draws, 8 losses.
Yeah.
And completely like plummet down the table.
They're on a good run at the minute.
But I think they have shown enough. Like where even if they do have that 10-game stretch,
they'll stay up.
They should rally. They should be able to rally and say, let's get back to the first 8 games of the season, 7 games of the season. We know what we need to do.
100% they'll stay up because they've got a striker that will score 10 league goals.
And Chris Wood deserves a lot of respect.
There's a good goal on the weekend, and they've got Hudson-Odoi, Elanga, and Gibbs. They'll stay up for sure. Madueke scored a good goal.
Yeah,
Chelsea fans would have wanted to obviously win this home game.
Chelsea fans they're kind of like not like us, but Chelsea I feel like are like us in the sense of their home stadium has a lot of judge.
Yeah,
more their obviously away form isn't as good as our away form or whatever, but Chelsea home games like it all seems to go on, and if they do win, it's in some sort of goal thriller that Chelsea win at home. You know, they definitely have the we can concede at home type thing.
Yeah, 100%. And that finished 1-1. A bit of a fight at the end with Nico Williams and Levi Colwill as well. Bit of a scrap.
I'm watching the Levi Colwill hype.
Yeah,
it's getting a bit too much for my liking. The hype monitor for Nico Colwill is Nico Colwill. For Levi Colwill,
Levi Colwill. Yeah, they're gassing him.
A lot.
They're
saying top 5 in the league, and I think because he's potentially the best of a bad bunch. Fair,
we'll see in the next game's Anfield.
Yeah.
That's I've said that before. That's the litmus test of a good team.
I think Liverpool will win that game pretty comfortably, 2-0.
And let's see if Levi Colwill how he deals with Jota, Salah.
The guys. Jota sneaking on him the same way Jota did versus whoever.
Chilwell.
No.
Oh, Palace.
Yeah,
Chalobah.
The same way Jota did versus Chalobah. I know Colwill's got that.
And Chalobah's better than Colwill.
Yeah. I was saying as well, Chelsea let go of their best defender.
Yeah.
Colwill's obviously better on the ball and stuff, but
not Chalobah. When he came into their team last year, he made them a lot better. But we'll move it on. MVPs and rookies. I've got Thomas Frank as an MVP.
Yeah.
For the kickoff routines.
Yeah.
If no one's seen it, watch his match of the day interview.
I'll give an MVP to Martinelli. Love that. I'll give an MVP to
Alex Pereira.
Rico Lewis. Alex Pereira. Give an MVP to Rico Lewis for that assist. I told you Rico's coming in. You think Rico's coming out the side?
He will. There's no doubt about it.
I was surprised.
Did you see the way he got cooked in that game?
Everybody got cooked in that game. I was surprised. I was just about to say, I was surprised to see that he did actually play him against against Traore, but he's going to do the hiding him in midfield thing. Like Rico Lewis will be a rotational piece. He's not like a guaranteed starter. He will be rotating like everybody else, but I think Pep.
Which is what I said.
I just think he has a little bit more guaranteed minutes than you seem to be letting on.
Then who?
I think he's going to play more than Grealish this year. And you were saying no.
Yeah, I don't think he'll play more than Grealish.
Yeah, I think Rico Lewis might.
I think he might get the same amount of minutes as Grealish.
It won't be massive. Could be a couple, like 100 in it or whatever it will be. But I think Pep might rinse this dry, this Rico Lewis train. And then Grealish will come in for sure for the last 10 games of the season. Those are Grealish games.
Yeah, I mean, how many games is Rico Lewis going to play from March?
They would need to check their schedule. You know, Pep, it's on a game.
We know it's like
it's on a game by game basis.
The schedule doesn't matter.
They could be deducted 20 points by then. It could be canon for the game.
Well, then Rico Lewis is going to get all the minutes, isn't it? Then we'll see McAtee minutes.
Yeah, who was the other guy that
O'Reilly.
Yeah,
we'll see all of them get minutes.
O'Reilly. Rookie.
James Maddison. Don't call the camera over to do a dart celebration to then go and bottle it in the second half and lose 3-2.
Yeah, I'll give James Ward-Prowse a rookie as well.
Yeah.
I actually kind of respect it because they held on to a draw. It's kind of like the Suarez thing versus Ghana. But it's just hilarious seeing him drop on the ball like that. There was somebody else I was thinking of. Oh. Calvin Phillips. Harsh.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm starting to think
Bowen cooked him.
I'm starting to think that, like we were saying, he's obviously shown. He went to West Ham. He showed that 10th to 6th might not be his level, but maybe 14th to 10th could be his level.
Yeah.
Is the Prem
switch?
Yeah, is the Prem, because it's like West Ham. We know they've been poor. We're here to cook West Ham. We know West Ham have been poor. So. And he was just there. He was just at West Ham. You know Bowen.
And Bowen stands him up. he looks him in the eyes. He realizes it's Calvin Phillips and he cooks him.
And it's a bit harsh because, look, anybody can get cooked by Bowen. Bowen's a very good winger. But I think Calvin, he's like, yes, injury. I don't fancy thinking I'm digging him out. But, like, I would have thought him choosing Ipswich would be like a Ramsdale thing in the opposite sense of, like, I'm going to start every minute. Same way Ramsdale starting for Southampton, sorry. I'm going to start every minute, but I'm going to be the influential, the piece.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the guy that conducts and then make it tick. And he's still like kind of in and out the side. I know he's had an injury and, all this kind of stuff, but I fear how far he might have fallen off.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's looking like, can you play Premier League football? Can you really play Premier League football? Because it's looking sticky at the minute.
Yeah, it's not fun. Vinny, MVP.
Yeah.
Great goal. And I think that is it.
I'll give one more rookie to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
That's just as a whole, as an entity. Welbeck, MVP.
Yeah, because how many times are you going to have a big result and think that your club has moved forward to then go and get slapped the next week? It happened last season when you beat Villa at Villa Park. You went and got slapped 3-0 at Fulham. And it's happened many a time before, and it just continues to happen.
Yeah, I agree. I do think, though, that Ange, not that he will change his style of play, but he will change the starting lineup that we saw. Obviously, this sounds easy. But the starting lineup that we saw versus Brighton won't be the starting lineup next week.
The whole thing can be the same, but it can't be Bentancur.
Yeah. I think like how the whole Ange, I'll give Ange a double.
But it wouldn't surprise me if he picked that 3 again.
I'll give Ange a double rookie for the interview, the like no eye contact, looking like, I feel like, and Ange does that pretty regularly.
Yeah.
But I just feel like that loss versus Brighton was a real like knife in the heart. And if he doesn't ring the changes, if he doesn't say, I want to play this style of football, but we have to do X, Y, and Z differently. It's Ange watch time.
Yeah, 100%.
It could be Curtis type 100%. Of thing, but like he has to play a Basuma in there with someone,
but it wouldn't surprise me if Ange picked the same 3.
He'll be, results, whether they win, lose, or draw in that game, he'll be rookie of the week for me if he
picks it again.
If he slaps that.
But thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week. Peace.